Hi there and welcome back or welcome to MarionKTarot. I hope you're all well. So this week we are going to be doing a general week ahead reading from Monday the 6th of July to Sunday the 14th of July. And what I thought I would do is, after the success of these little question cards in the monthly readings for each of the signs, I thought that I would incorporate that into our weekly readings, just to give it a wee bit more, give you something to have a think about, like an actual tangible thing, as opposed to the more kind of abstractness of the tarot that comes across sometimes. So let's have a wee, we've seen this one, right? So here's the questions, right? And it's actually 2 questions this week, so I find that interesting in itself. So we have got, where do I doubt myself most? And are my doubts true to reality or caused by overthinking? Oh, hi. Hello fellow overthinkers. How are we? So that's it there. I hope it comes up. It doesn't come up mirror image for you. I hope it comes up the right way, because I can never tell. Came up mirror image to me, so I'm hoping it comes up okay for you. So that's going to be that's our kind of starting off theme for this week, to see, where do we doubt, because we all doubt ourselves. Okay, we all have doubts, and the way that I see doubts is, it's like they're there to help us question ourselves, but they can also be detrimental to our growth. To our growth as a person, and growth in just spiritual terms, physical terms, day-to-day life terms. It's like, for instance, if we see like a new job that we quite fancy doing, and we quite fancy applying for it, well, we'll have that kind of, when we look at the job description, etc., we'll be like, oh well, I can't do X, Y and Z, and that's what they're looking for, so there's no point me applying. Well, really good tip that I learned quite early in my career was that when you look at a job description, okay, as long as you meet the minimum criteria, and even if you don't, right, just apply, because even though it's always I think it's a ratio of something like 40 to 60%. If you meet 40% of what they're looking for, then that means that you've got 60% to learn. Because somebody isn't wanting, employers don't usually want to employ people who have matched everything in a job description, because it means that the person already knows the stuff and they've got nothing to learn. So then they get bored. So then they move on quicker. An employer would rather have somebody who doesn't know as much in order to learn them and teach them, because they know that that person will usually stay there in the position longer. Okay, so that's just a wee bit of human resources stuff that I learnt back in my corporate days of working for a boss and working for in traditional jobs, shall we say, before I became a full-time tarot card reader. So this week we are using Zeke's Arcana, which is very bright and very pink. And if you have watched your monthly reading for each of the signs, if not, there'll be a playlist on the channel. Go looking for it. For July, I used this deck for all of the signs for July. So let me see. As I say, it's a weekly reading for the 6th to the 14th of July. Right, let's see what energies we've got coming through, what messages the tarot wants to give us. So I should have really looked at the astrology before I pressed record, but I haven't. We're coming off the end of that new moon in Cancer that was kind of Friday, Saturday, so that was relatively intense. Yeah, so let's see what we've got. Okay, so The energy at the bottom of the deck, we have got Justice. Right, we've got Madam Justice. I love this Justice card because of the wedge boots. No, the wedge boots, the platform boots. Love it. So that's the underlying energy of the week. So it could be that we are looking for justice, or justice is about to get served on something, or on an area of our lives, or an area that we have been involved in. Take that, you know, however you think it looks for you, you know, it's like it might be subtle justice. It's feeling quite subtle for quite a few people. It feels like it's not as obvious as in your face. I mean, I know obviously last week in the UK we did general election. A lot of people would say that, you know, justice can have played her hand in that. However, you know, whatever political way you lean, it's not really something that I like to discuss publicly. But I believe that when justice is served, it can be quite direct, or in the other side of it, it can be quite subtle. And because it is the energy at the bottom of the deck, feels to me it's a kind of undercurrent this week. It's not directly in your face because it's not part of the main three cards. Okay, so speaking of, what are the three cards? You say in anticipation. We have got the Hierophant, that's a card of Taurus, Major Arcana. We have got the Ten of Wands, okay, and we have got the Eight of Cups. So it's an interesting week for sure. Now, where are we going with this? Where you know, what do we? I'm wondering if I put these here. Can you see them? No. So yeah, so where are we going to go with these? What do we do? Right, the Hierophant. The Hierophant is very difficult for some people, you know, but he is a teacher, and especially with justice showing up, right? These are the two cards that are related to, these are two of the cards that are related to Venus, because the Hierophant is Taurus energy and Justice is Libra energy, and both of those signs are ruled by Venus. It could indicate that there's some kind of justice coming with regards to romantic relationships. It could be that you make a decision, you know, you have learned something about relationships in general. There has been a lot of truths coming to light, not just with romantic relationships, but with relationships in general. And there's difficulties, you know, there's been some difficulties if you have been experiencing some difficult relationships, or, you know, it's like a Ten of Wands here, you know, it's like things have been hard work when it's coming to relationships, you know, there's just been this constant kind of a push-pull, this reluctance for anybody to give up their position, sort of thing, you know, and you as the individual, you've had to be like, right, how much further can I go with this relationship? Whether that is a relationship with yourself, whether it's a relationship with someone else, it feels, you know, it can be a number of things. Remember that it is planets starting to go into retrograde. The outer planets are going into retrograde, and that can often be a time of internal searching, you know, searching for answers within ourselves, and then seeing things in a different light. You know, it's almost like we're invited, but when a planet goes retrograde, we're invited to see the shadow side of things. And again, that plays in with that Justice card being at the bottom, you know, the shadowy aspects. It can be where, you know, there might be some, you might not have realised that people in your life were in a certain attitude towards you. You know, it's like you may have thought, the word that's coming through is frenemies, right? So if there's been like a situation where you thought that you could trust somebody, or you thought that, because the thing is, with this Hierophant energy, right, and the Hierophant he is a teacher. He's a teacher of wisdom. So it could be that you have learnt some valuable lessons, or you will be learning some valuable lessons this week, and this week is the opportunity for you to put those lessons into practice, which will be difficult, which will be a struggle if you've been used to being, if you've maybe been used to being the person that says, oh yes, no problem, I can do that, or you've just been the one that's kind of rolled over and been like, yeah, it's fine, well, it really isn't fine, but I'm not going to tell anybody that it isn't fine. Then this could be the week that you say, enough. Enough is enough. I am going to be doing this. And then again, pulling in that, where do I doubt myself most? And if you have been put in a situation where you are doubting yourself, you're doubting your capabilities because of the impressions or the opinions that other people have got of you and your capabilities. So that could be what's kind of bubbling up to the surface as well. And it's quite a similar message for last week's cards as well. So this could be a continuation. This could be an ongoing thing. The final card we've got is the Eight of Cups. Now the Eight of Cups it's removing oneself from an emotional situation that no longer serves you. Okay? So it could be, when we talk about it, is the walking away card emotionally, the emotional detachment card. It's hard because it indicates that we still have emotions for the situation, the person, etc. But how I see it is, and I have done a lot of work with this card, this was my stalker card for 5 years. 5 long years. This card stalked me. So I understand it really quite intimately. And what happens is, if you can look at it, it's not necessarily walking away from something you love, but you're walking towards something that you will love more, or that is more in line with. It's like that card it's like the kind of card that I associate with. How like if you're watching like maybe a movie, or you're reading a book, or you're listening to a song or something, right? So it's like, I always think it is the I will always love you song card, It's like, that song speaks of, loving the person, but they're leaving because they know that it's better. It's like, yeah, the two people really love each other, but ultimately they know, or the person who's singing the song knows that they love themselves more. It's very much that kind of I love you, but I love me more. And it's making that really difficult choice to put yourself first. And that ultimately is what I feel like the energy of the week is. And it could be that, there's an opportunity to maybe revisit things. But it's going to be, it's not going to be an easy week. I don't feel like it, it's one of the weeks where we can just glide through, and it's all like sunshine and unicorns, because life isn't like that, let's face it. So, all in all, just remember the lessons that you've learned. Understand that, yes, it will be a struggle, but it will be relatively short-lived. And put you first. You go your own way. There's another song quote. Okay, my darlings. So I hope that makes sense. Have a lovely week as much as possible. And I will see you next week, okay? Bye-bye.